Hi, this is Weekly Reflections, and I'm Nancy Joy. Recently back from a trip to the Bahamas. That was pretty awesome. Needed to get away from here. Anyway, thank you all who participated in the call to compassion to set us all free. Bringing the Kabbalah into compassion was a great call. I sent the link out. If you didn't get it, it's above here in my written portion. If you need it, drop me a line and I'll send it to you. It was a great call and we set a great grid. So going along with that theme, we're in March now. And you often hear the term March Madness for a lot of good reasons. The most important one, the basketball tournament, that's not where I'm headed, is the fact that winter and spring have a little fight going on in March, and it can be volatile or nice and calm, volatile again. It switches and changes. And so it's kind of a madness. You're kind of going in and out of different polarities from one nice day at 60 here today. I guess a week ago it was 7. So here we go. And the wind's shifting. Everything windy. March is known for its winds, right? So not only is March that kind of energy every year, but this year it brings about the first 2 eclipses of 2016, as well as Spring Equinox, as well as an alignment between Saturn, Jupiter, and Uranus that started on the 3rd and will go all the way through to the 23rd. So we're sandwiched by 2 eclipses, equinox, and this alignment of the 3 planets. There's other ones too we'll talk about in further reflections in March. There's a lot going on. One astrologer said March is the most energetic month of 2016. So we can expect a lot of winds of change and a lot of things coming up. But mostly what I want to discuss here is the first eclipse is tomorrow. I don't know when you're listening to this. It's Tuesday, March 8th, and it will be at 7:58 p.m. Central Time in the United States. It's a solar eclipse, and it's not visible in anywhere, hardly anywhere in the world. There's a few places you can check it out, but it goes direct at 7:58 for 4 minutes and 9 seconds. So that's a very powerful time if you can tune into that doorway. And what you want to use it for right now is to bring duality into integration, into compassion, most importantly, into creation. We've discussed it before. Wherever there's duality and polarity, when it can come together, instead of battling each other, it creates its creations, the energy of creation. So in the 5D, that's where we want to go. But the energy of this planetary alignment with this eclipse, the first one being March 8th in Pisces, also that is the super new moon in Pisces, same day. Then on March 23rd, you have the lunar eclipse, not quite sure what time of night that is, but it's also the ending of the planet's alignment. So we have a very active time coming up, and it's going to bring up a lot of anger. Things are coming up for you now to go inside and understand where you are. And really the important thing in this volatility of March, calling it March Madness, equinoxes and eclipses, it's kind of what it is to go within and find solutions. This is what we want to do right now. Wherever duality confronts us, and as it comes up, which it will, as this is also a perfect time, of course, for disclosure and transparency, which will bring about a lot of emotions because we're so polarized and right and wrong on this planet, but the 5D energies don't allow it. So here you have a chance to consciously use the 5D template, which is the one of taking duality and creating with it something that works, not necessarily for the world, but for you. And every time you do that, you go out of the energy of separation and duality and into integration and creation. It helps the entire planet. So let's take a look at that a little more closely because there's tremendous opportunity. I also want to point out here that don't be fooled into thinking that when we're in this new reality in the 5th dimension and all the great things, that there won't be any duality. I've heard a lot of people say end of duality. I think I may have said it. It's not really true. There's always going to be polarity and duality in creation because those opposite energies are needed. The energies that are needed to come together to create illusions or realities, however you want to look at it. Think of protons and neutrons. Think of, as we've said before, positive and negative poles, men and women. They come together, creation happens. So that's where we want to go this March. We want to look for personal solutions to all the duality in our lives. And here's the quote. It's by Tanaath of the Silver Legion. Not sure who he is, looked him up online, but it was a great offering, channeling, what have you. And here's what he had to say. You have much more in common with other people on this planet than you have differences. Resist the many, many pushes to division and further separating ourselves. When you're given a choice between this or that, choose to make your own solution, because inevitably the choices you are being offered are outside force and are false ones. This is clearly in the election, right? Instead of trying to decide who you're going to vote for, trying to decide what you want to happen and feel it and work toward that end. Really doesn't matter who you're going to elect. What your job is to come out of the fight, out of duality, out of what keeps you separate from your own truth and humanity, and create solutions. So I'm inviting you to do a challenge now. I'm going to call it the 5D challenge of duality, of integrating duality. And we can use March as this wonderful opportunity because the energies are all going to support it. If you're in a bad mood, if you're angry, if you're frustrated, if you're unhappy, if you're depressed, March is going to support that. So you do have a choice to create different solutions here. And I'm going to offer you some of the ones I've come up with, and I challenge you to make a list of some personal ones and some global ones, and how you, in your own little world, in your own way, can bring them into a place of creation where it feels good for you. No one else has to agree. You don't need to change the world. This is about changing the world one person at a time because we are all connected. So I'm excited about this. I hope you'll write to me, and I'm going to share some of mine here. I'd love to hear where you go with this. I know some people want to stay polarized. We got some feedback from our bringing the Kapal into compassion, and there are just those that are not ready. And you may not be your journey even to bring duality into integration, creation, and compassion. But it is the 5D energy. So to that extent. So for me, you can look at the moon and the sun as opposites, right? The moon is dark unless it reflects the light of the sun, which is light, dark and light. We can polarize right there, but we've got 2 eclipses coming, and what do the eclipses do? They put the earth in the middle between the sun and the moon, or vice versa, the moon and the sun, depending on which it is, and they create a doorway that's so energetic and so magical and so illuminating, and the shadows and the light work together to create a solution, right? These doorways. At the same time, on the second one, on the 22nd, you'll have equinox, followed right after by the lunar eclipse on the 23rd in Libra, right? So there is a lot of energy here. And as the earth comes into that middle ground to bring the moon and the light of the sun together into a creation, why not use this time to do the same thing in your life? It was suggested by somebody I read today, and I can't remember who, that if you do some kind of meditation or something right at 7:58 Central Time tomorrow, Tuesday, on the 8th, 7:58 p.m. for 4 minutes and 9 seconds, that'll be really powerful. So my suggestion is you take this duality challenge in that 4 minutes and 9 seconds, and you create solutions and feel good about them. Here's some of mine. Okay, gun control. Here's where I came. My husband's a big gun guy. He has guns. He collects guns. I've never been into guns. I don't really have a desire to go get my permit carry or whatever you call it. But where I came to was the very energy of no longer fighting for a point of view about even the word gun control. You know what I mean? There's guns out there. We get to choose how we're going to use them. The guns themselves don't go around killing or hurting or harming. So I stand in the middle and I say, although I'm not a gun person, I honor every human being's right to take the journey they need to. I hold that space of love for myself and for others. That sets me free. Climate change, the opposition, it is true, it isn't true, you do this, you don't do that. That is not helpful to the earth. That is a fight. The earth doesn't respond to that. The divas, the elves, the nature spirits, they don't respond to that. Perhaps the very energy of no longer fighting your point of view will release the stranglehold this argument has on our planet. So I stand in the middle and I say, I do everything in my life to show love to the earth. With every breath I take, I try to do it with every action I take. I adore this planet, and I hold a space of love for everyone to do the same, because love's the answer. And beyond that, I don't need to have any other opinion. I don't need to go into that duality. I know it is the truth, the 5D truth, or even I can just say my personal truth. Political parties, as I said, I choose what's right for me. And what's right for me is to not get involved with any of these people who are running for election, who say they want to help people and bring things together. They're doing it by creating more duality. And that doesn't work for me. So I'm unplugging. But I am using my rights as a voter and as a citizen to work locally, to volunteer, to help, to be the change I want to see. Let them fight it out up there. Right here, I have the power to make changes. So that's where I go with the political duality. Your solution might be different. That's great. Just on a personal note, my husband's always been a collector and a hobbyist. He has so many things, and they're everywhere, and everywhere there's a space, there's more of these things he loves to do. But it used to be, I'm a minimalist, and I like my space pretty clean and pretty clear. So it used to be a big battle. A big battle. I mean, it was constantly coming up over the garage or over the basement or who has the tools. And honestly, always coming up until one day, 3 years ago or so, I said, what do I care? Why am I fighting about this with someone I love? I'll do my space the way I want it. I'll be minimalist, keep it clear and clean, and allow him to do the same. On the other hand, I'm not going to go cleaning his space or helping him with these things. They're his things. And I just felt so free. And it's changed our relationship. I'm not saying he went and cleaned out everything to make me feel better. Certainly not. But there have been changes on both sides of a coming together, of a solution. But someone had to step out of their pole and the polarity to make it happen. So that's your choice through this March Madness. I hope you'll all take the March Madness challenge. No matter what you choose to do, find your way out of the fight. And use the energy of March Madness, its eclipses and everything going on, to shift out of your own dualistic thinking and judgment and into solutions that work for you. Give it a try. Catch the magic. Have a great week. Bye-bye.